Oh my goodness, man. I was watching the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Los Angeles Lakers the other night in Staples Center, and they booed the crap out of Paul George. Yo, that's crazy that we're getting to the point where NBA fans obviously knew Paul George had interest in becoming a Los Angeles Laker from his words and through the blogs and through the, through media outlets, right? So you got fans booing Paul George because he ain't go to LA. This is different from a guy getting booed who was on your team. Like, this ain't the Pacers booing Paul George. This is the Los Angeles Lakers. He never even joined the Lakers. He never put on the uniform. They're booing him because he didn't come. That's crazy to me that we're at this point in society. So the Lakers booed Paul George. I mean, boo. The fans at Staples Center were rocking. I think it would have been better had LeBron or Rondo been playing, but they still booed. And a lot of people were talking about Paul George's performance. It was phenomenal. You know, he was clutch down the stretch. I think he went for 37. He pretty much went as that crowd booed him. He embraced all of it. And I want to salute Paul George for having another great performance. You know, he's having an MVP-like season right now, y'all. On my MVP list, I got Harden 1, Giannis 2, number 3, ding, 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 ding. Not LeBron. Well, yeah, not LeBron. I was going to say LeBron, but he's been out. Not LeBron, not Anthony Davis. Number 3 for me is Paul George right now. He's been available for his team every night and been putting up some big-time numbers for that OKC Thunder team. The reason why Paul George, I confidently say he's in that MVP conversation, was because of his teammate and what he's been doing this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I did all that little backlog to get to the real story. This ain't a Paul George video. While Paul George went for a big 30-plus night against the Lakers in his hometown, the real stat that stood out to me was a certain MVP, former MVP, two-time triple-double king, right? He's did triple-doubles back-to-back seasons. On his way to doing it a third straight season, by the way. I'm looking at Russell Westbrook. And, fam, he was 3 out of 20 in that game. And I want to take this a step further. 3 out of 20 for Russell Westbrook in 2018 is different than a 3 out of 20 in previous years. Because if you look back, in the past, if he goes 3 out of 20 from the field, even though it looks crazy, you know, he probably got to, because he's so great at attacking the rim, he probably got to the line like 10, 15 times and still put up 20, 25 points because he's made so many free throws. He's like 60% from the free throw line this year. He's struggling there. He's for sure struggling from the field. He's shooting entirely too many threes a game. What is he shooting, like 5 threes a game? 5, 10 threes a game? No. He's got to shoot them, though, to a degree to keep the defense honest to be able to attack the rim. Fam, do I need to be the one to say it? Is no one else going to say it? Is Russell Westbrook's body starting to break down? Because we've been wondering, like, yo, guys like Russ and LeBron, when would they ever start to show us any sign that they're human? Just a remote sign that they're not an alien. We got LeBron with a groin injury. Russ had another procedure this summer. Missed the first couple weeks of the season. Came back. We're like, oh, that's just same old Russ. Is it really same old Russ? What I'm watching Russ not be the same guy that he was in previous years. That burst to the step, it's still quicker than most, right? It's still quicker than pretty much most of the NBA. But I can acknowledge that burst and that explosiveness at the rim, it's a half step behind the pace of what it was in previous years. Again, that still puts him atop the league, getting to the rim, but it's a half step backwards at what Russ had been in the years past, and that's how it usually starts. Generally speaking, we don't see superstars just fall off the map one year and go from 30 points to averaging 8. No, but, you know, maybe they go from averaging 25 to around 23 and 21. It usually slowly starts. It slowly happens like that. And to me, with Russ, the way his game has been, I've always told you guys, I don't think Russ should play the game of basketball past the age of 35. He's not a guy that's going to be great. He's not going to be Chris Paul. Chris Paul's 34. I think Chris Paul, if he can stay healthy, he'll be in his prime for 3 or 4 more years. The way he plays, he doesn't play above the rim. He's great at shooting, great passer, great feel for the game. He could do that for the next 4 or 5 years if he wanted to, and if his body allowed him to. Russ, if his body starts to flake on him, most of his game is above the rim. If you mean to tell me, as Russ gets older, I'm just going to be able to back away from Russ and not respect his jumper because I'm playing him, you know, and now he can't get to the rim as quick as he could. So I could pretty much just Rajon Rondo him defensively and give him a few steps so I can have that, you know, I could be in great position and have the right angle if he decides to go to the rim because he's not as explosive at the rim anymore. You mean to tell me I can guard Russ like that? Or hell, maybe I can even play up top on Russ because I got a big man who can keep their hands up, right? And Russ doesn't have the explosiveness to just dunk over him like he used to. Okay? I'm telling you, Russ could fall out of his prime pretty quickly, you know? And I do believe Russ is going to have to look at Jason Kidd. You know, Jason Kidd, he never was close to the athlete that Russ was, but he used to could get up, right? And he used to could dunk, and, you know, he came out of that explosive era real quickly. He became like the triple-double guy. And Russ is now the triple-double guy. But I watched Jason Kidd during his tenure with the Mavs and the Knicks, excuse me. He refined his game to be a three-point shooter. We never thought that in his prime. Jason Kidd couldn't shoot. But over his last few years, he really worked at that jumper. And as Paul George continues to climb, and he looks like a phenomenal player for the next few years, maybe Russ should consider the Jason Kidd approach. Start learning that jumper, spotting up, and really mastering that jump shot. Maybe that'll be the right approach because he is struggling. 3 for 20 from the field, fam? No. Stop shooting. And I know there's a lot of Thunder fans who are watching the Warriors struggle. And I do think something's wrong in Golden State. But I just want to speak to your team, the Thunder, right? I am not 100% sold on you guys yet because I'm having a hard time believing when it becomes playoff time and we're asking Russ to do what he's doing in the regular season, because right now he's doing a great job at it. For the most part, he's deferring to PG down the stretch. If you think I believe that Russ is going to defer to PG in playoff games, close game scenarios, remember, this is one of the reasons why KD left. I got to see it to believe it. What, didn't he shoot like 45 times in the playoffs last year against Utah? I have to see Russ defer in a big-time situation. It's easy to do it January 3rd of the regular season against the Lakers without LeBron. All right, it's easy to let PG have his way then. But will you be committed to doing it second round of the playoffs against Denver, against Houston, maybe the Warriors? Time will tell. Right now, Russ is struggling, so it's easy for him to defer in the regular season. But let's say he picks it up and gets it going. I want to see if he's going to still stick to and keep that same energy and allow PG to be the #1 option, because I do believe that Thunder team is at its best when PG is the one scoring and Russ is playing off PG. I'm out.